Hey folks, welcome to another HeroPress tip of the week. This week, I'm going to introduce you to several different terms, those being HTTP compression, content encoding, and gzip. And I will tell you what they mean and why they matter to you. HTTP is the protocol that the web uses to move web pages around, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. And compression is exactly what it sounds like. It's shrinking it, it's making it smaller. You may be familiar with zip files on the web. Plugins and themes are in zip files. And in addition to putting a bunch of files together into one file, they also compress it and make all of those files smaller than they would be if they were all individual. The web has the ability to do that same kind of compression and make web pages much smaller. So let's take a look at how that works. Right here are some headers that your browser sends out to the server when it's saying, I would like that web page, please. So you type in a URL and it sends along accept encoding. And it lists all the kinds that the browser itself can handle. In this case, it's gzip and deflate. The server gets that and says, okay, I'm going to send that file back. Oh, but look, they accept gzip, and I know how to do gzip. So I'm going to gzip my file before I send it back. And they send it out, and the browser receives it and says, I recognize gzip, and unpacks it and displays it for you. All of this happens without you even knowing it. You don't have to do anything to make it happen. It just happens. But it can make your web pages dramatically smaller in transmission, which can therefore greatly increase your speed. So that's HTTP compression and content encoding. Accept encoding is what the browser sends. Content encoding is what the server sends back. But what is this stuff? Let's take a look here at gzip. I mentioned zip files, which can hold multiple files inside and then compress them. The difference with gzip is that it doesn't do multiple files. It does only one, and it only compresses. If you want to do multiple files, you can combine it with some other program like tar. You may have seen a tar gzip file. Well, gzip just compresses, and it has several advantages over the kind of zip that you're used to. One is that it is extraordinarily fast, which it needs to be in a browser situation, and it does a better job compressing and making smaller files than zip does. You can use gzip anywhere. You can use it on your Mac, your Windows machine, or anything. But in this case, we're looking at it just with HTTP compression. So then I want to show you how to tell if your server can serve it, is serving it, etc. Recently, we did a tip of the week on curl, and we looked at using -I to look at headers. Well, you can also send headers, just like we were showing you on the Wikipedia page. And then the server will send back what it can handle. So I'm going to copy the first part of this and then paste it here and put in HeroPress.com. Actually, I need HTTPS. And there we have right there, content encoding, gzip. Let's try a couple others. There's WordPress.org and gzip. It works. Gzip is actually on most servers these days. I'm showing you so that you can check, and if it's not there, then you can go to your host and say, hey, we need this, or maybe choose a different host. Easter egg, I wanted to show you. WordPress.org sends an Easter egg header called Olaf, and it's a snowman. There is another type of compression that is becoming more and more common, and that's called BR. So let me show you what that looks like. We say that we can handle BR, then they write back content encoding BR. There are fewer of them that can handle BR than gzip. Gzip is pretty universal. BR is less so. However, BR does better compression, so it's quickly becoming very common. So I want to show you what gzip actually does. So if we do curl heropress.com, it's going to go get the page and just spit it out on the screen here. What we really want is to have it in a file. So I'm going to go like this, heropress.html. So we do a long listing with showing all information as much as possible with H for human readable. So the HeroPress page is 157K. So I'm going to make a copy of that. So there we have two of them, and they're both 157K. So now I'm going to gzip heropress.html. And now you can see that the gzipped version is only 31 kilobytes as opposed to 157. Because I'm bad at math, I found this cool calculator. And the compressed version is 76% smaller. Now imagine you can do that for all of your web pages. Keep in mind, we're only doing this for HTML at the moment. But imagine all your HTML pages being 76% smaller. That greatly reduces the amount of traffic you're sending. It makes it much, much faster. There's no downside to this. And the difference is dramatic. So, my point of this whole video is that you check your own site, and you can do that just like this. I'll put this in the video comments. And if you don't have it, ask your server or your host to turn it on, or maybe you need a different host because it's a big deal. I hope you find this useful.